Put your hand in. What's going on, Vault Dwellers? How are we tonight? Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you all are here. I am Famine from Famine Studios. Urinade, the make-it-yourself sports drink. What's that? You're curious about this wonderful mug that I'm drinking from? This is just the Vault Tech Overseers mug made by my friend Pagan Outlaws over on Etsy. They actually furnished and provided these mugs for the production of the Fallout TV series. If you guys have checked it out, I highly recommend it. I'd give it a 9 out of 5 out of 10. Really enjoyed the show. So how are we all doing tonight? And how's the volume on the music? There we go. Poppy in here. So before we get started, I want to check in with everybody. I want to thank my patrons, as always, for sponsoring the channel. Vault Seer, the Overseer of Vault 69. Nice. That's the sex number. No, I think if I was any, it'd probably be like Vault, maybe 93 or 86. Those are my two favorite years. Dave, how are we? Good to see you. And in case anybody does want to pick up one of these Vault Tech Overseer mugs or some of the smaller mugs that they had from the show, you can absolutely hit up Outlaw Pagan. Their link is in the description of the video. They also have these waterproof vinyl Vault Tech decals. I know it's backwards because I'm backwards, but you get what you can. Bjorn, I've got a few Pip-Boys. This is my favorite cosplay Pip-Boy that I use when I'm cosplaying. I'll show this off. I don't mind. We can do a little cosplay show and tell, right? It's within the theme. Fallout's the theme of the day. Oh, let's see here. So this is Spirit Halloween Pip-Boy. I picked up a few of these over the years on Halloween, and I just completely repaint them, modify them, give them new buttons, add decals, paint little details on, like the striping, the energy sign. Let's get the lighting a little warm. We're going, retro futuristic here. Let's, there we go, a little yellow lighting. But, give it the lightning bolt for the power cell, the red stripe, the arrow, the up arrow that's not on there. Make this look like a light bulb with some, just a little paint detail. It's not fancy. Excuse me. Painted the knobs, weathered the knobs, gave it a pointer so that it could point to those items. Just put in the work. And it actually has enough space in there, which is why I bought a few of them so I could cut it out and fit my phone with the with my screen in there. And there's an app that is I think it's the Vault Dweller game, where it also has for the main screen, it has the Pip-Boy app, and you can put it in there and have it right through your Pip-Boy for cosplay and conventions. And I play oldies music on it if I wanted to. I just haven't cut out the back. It's quite easy to do too. Let's see. See how it's all blown plastic to fit so your arm fits nicely? You can just unscrew that, pop it out, and get in there, cut out the screen. So it is a pretty easy mod. But yeah, that's one of my. I've got a few of them. Like I said, I think I own 4, and I modified 3 of them. Oh, I also replaced the hardware with real screws and do rust effects on there. I replaced the crappy sticker with some caution striping, metallized that, metallized this, added a little rust on the brackets, scuffed everything up with weathering, some more metal hardware, adjusted this knob so it actually turns and tunes. So fun project. Let's go through and say hello to everybody. We got Bjorn in the chat. Bjorn, first one here as usual. Tuna on Rye, trying so hard. One of these days you'll beat him. You got to turn on them alerts. You got to wake up early. That's sweet. You guys are very... Look at that. Lord of Thane, glad you could be here. How's vacation treating you? I hope it's treating you well. And our friend Twi'lek Tabletop Stop, how you doing? Hope you're feeling well. Hey, thanks, Dave. And we got Wasteman in the chat. Yes, you can. You can connect it to the Fallout 4. What up, Dead Man? I don't have a morpher. I have power coins, but no morpher. Thank you. Yes, absolutely hit that like button. You know, speaking of things I like, let me go ahead and throw the patrons up on the screen. Again, Bjorn, the very first patron. That will be your handle from now on, Bjorn, the first patron. Playing with my 375, Lord of Thane, Task Force Wombat, Red, Fat Foo, and Toy Domination. I appreciate you guys so much. If you want to support the channel on Patreon, you can go ahead over to patreon.com/FamonStudios262. That's where we're available. And you can take a look at the tiers, sign up. There's a free tier. And that's also... Well, I'm saying Bjorn was here like days before. I didn't even have the alert posted yet. I didn't even have the thumbnail up, and Bjorn was already here, so... Oh, fancy. Well, I hope they give you something, makes you feel a little better, do some things for you, help you out. We'll be thinking of you, keeping you in our thoughts here. So yeah, let's talk. We got some stuff to talk about before we well, he does leave. He goes to the store and gets like snacks and stuff. This music is kind of crap. But let's talk before we get started on the customs. I got something new. Finally, got it in the mail the other day. Just go ahead here. Finally, I got one of these. Damn thing. I literally, Dave, you might not be wrong. What up, Eddie? What up? So finally got one of these off of eBay last week. I literally went back and forth for 2 weeks with the seller to try and get them to come down on this just so I could get it for under $20. I think we landed at 22. But finally got one. So I'm excited to take this whole thing apart, strip that off. I'm going to use a heat gun, strip the paint off and everything, or the stickers, and then I'm going to paint it up, and we'll go from there. I've got some plans. I'm very excited for this. So, and you know what's going to happen, guys, is now that I have one, I'm going to see them everywhere for cheap. That's what's going to happen. Hey, it's Toy Domination. Look at that, guys. I mentioned my patrons, and they appear. What's happening, my friend? Morphine at 11:30. Oh, we'll hopefully we'll get you there. I can promise that's at least take you to 10. Dom, look what I got. Look, I am one of the cool kids now. I'm one of the cool kids. Apparently that's because they're all up in Canada and all at other people's houses, man. All right, let's set that there. Out of the way. All right. Hey, Dom, you know what else I got? Again, and I know you saw it the other day, but I just want to tell you, especially now that they're like $16 at Walmart, $17, you could be one of the cool kids. You could be one of us. You could have the same, we could have a fleet, a legion of these ships, just like you have your HISS tanks, your cavalcade of HISS tanks. each station can have one of these ships, and when called upon, we could all converge to your location, man. I'm throwing it out there. It's an option. Think about it, consider it. That's all I'm saying. The boys would love it. Look at that. Bjorn saw one today. Bjorn also scored some pretty cool stuff. If you want to share in the chat, Bjorn, what you found today, I'm sincerely jealous. Like, those were all good finds. On eBay, yeah. I went back and forth with this seller for like maybe the start of 3 weeks. They had it for like $29.99. I was like, no. It sat there. I made an offer. They said no. They made a counter offer. I said no. Waited a couple of days. I shot them an offer. No, back and forth. Finally, like I said, I got it down to like $22. So I'm happy. Anthony, glad you could make it. We were worried. I was going to send out the troops. Cowman was getting ready to put on a harness and come visit. Firehawk competition. Where is that competition taking place? Got to drop that in the chat too. And Bjorn, like I said, he got an awesome set, the full Republic Commando series in softcover. I think I've only got one of the Republic Commando stories, one of their books. But I'm surprised they haven't released the new Scorch figure, especially since he's so prominent in the Bad Batch. And that seems to be like the thing where they'll release everybody but the Bad Batch. No, automated teller machine. Automated teller machine. I get the two confused. Makes a really weird time at the bank, let me tell you. Nice. Bjorn, I'll have to go and look in the... Hey, sir, knock it off. I'll have to go look in the library and let you know. And I say library, it's my office and my bookshelf and my soft covers, but I'll have to take a look. But yeah, again, let me just plug my friend's stuff again real quick. The Overseer, it's the actual ones that were in the show. Her Etsy store, she furnished these mugs for the show. From what I understand, she thought it was a cast gift when Amazon placed the order because it was like a big order. And then the trailer comes out and the Overseer is drinking out of one of her mugs. Her stuff is situated on the Overseer's desk in the show. So, if you want to get the exact mug from the same maker from the show at a very good price, I have seen what some people who, I guess, hit it big with their stuff. Pick it up. And it's good quality. It's hand wash only. I understand why, because it is, it's a nice item. But she's had hers for 2 years before they even order from hers. Hand washes it, no problems. I've hand washed mine quite a few times. Coffee in it, cold beverages in it, no problems. And it's nice. It's actual ceramic. It's not plastic. These are the real deal. So if you guys are, hot beverage like me, check it out. Outlaw Pagan on Etsy. The link is in the description. Again, they've got vinyl decals. They've also got like nerdy inspired shirts. The name again, Bjorn, is Outlaw Pagan. Outlaw Pagan. Star Wars Galaxy's Ruins of Dantooine autobiography. How can... I'm processing this, right? Ready? I'm going to process this. Is Star Wars Galaxy's Ruins of Dantooine. It's an autobiographical fan fiction. I feel like autobiographical and fan fiction immediately cancel each other out, but I'll play along. Turn novel, right? So it's a novel of the author's online adventures before the servers were shuttered in 2011. Okay. I do not have that now. I don't. Hey, thank you so much. And that's the thing, right? Like we're all, I say we're all, a lot of us are small makers, we're artists, we're, toy people, we're cosplayers, we're very much creatives, and I want to support other people. Like I would not be where I am today if other people did not support other people. Like it's a really weird thing. It's just a cat. It's Snowflake. You guys can lay down. I wish you guys could see what's going on right now. Snowflake came down from her perch. She's laid down elegantly and gracefully, arms stretched out, tail behind her, and the boys are like, and Mona Rosie are completely terrified of her. They're just like staring at her. Cowman's staring at her like, why are you here? He's afraid to get off the bed because he doesn't want to lose his spot. Lay down, good boy. Silly critters. But yeah, I want to support other creatives because I wouldn't be here without the support of creatives, right? Like learning from cosplayers when I first started, learning from people in movies, like legitimate people that work on stuff. Like if you ask, some people might big league you. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I'm sure if you shot off a quick DM to Tom Savani, he probably isn't going to answer you. But some of the smaller people or the smaller shops, if you send them an email or send them a message, chances are they'll help you out or point you in the right direction. If you ever want to learn how something was made or where something was sourced, be tactful, be polite, but like that's it. And when I see somebody do something, I want to share it. Evil Ted, who's worked on a litany of movies, TV shows, and all that stuff. I guarantee the Guyver, my brain is completely blanking. Like just Evil Ted has worked on everything, and he makes cosplay patterns, sells cosplay patterns. He worked on Fallout. He did the rad roaches and helped make some other props that are key to the show. I will put up a spoiler warning at some point if we get into spoilers. But he's worked on some key props for that as well. Couple of other friends of mine, people I know that are acquaintances, also worked on the program. Again, my friend furnished stuff for the show. Like it's amazing. So I try and support that because one day, hopefully I'll be in their shoes. And one day I'll be able to help other people out in the same way. So it's like, it's just, support everybody, right? Brett, how's it going? Glad to see that you're here, setting the standard. I hope I'm not setting the standard. Like, I hope that everybody would do this, but I get what you're saying, and I appreciate that. Yes, Snowflake is luxurious. She's a big, giant, luxurious cat right now. But the dogs are now hiding in the crate. The boys are. You and your lady dressed up for Halloween as Vault Dwellers in 2009. No one knew who you were. That's a shame. But you were ahead of your time. Brain is Completely Breaking is your favorite movie. Mashup between Fallout Boy and the Vault Boy. That's clever. That's clever. All right, so let's get going here. I guess I gotta take this Pip-Boy off. So if anything happens, I'm not in control of it. So, as you guys see, the Mega Merge figure is the one that we're going to be customizing today. I have the female Soul Survivor from Fallout 4. She's right here. The head I had used on another custom, so I swapped out a Carrie Fisher Princess Leia, well, not Princess Leia, but Commander Organa Solo from the new the sequel trilogy. There we go. I knew I'd get those words. But the head works. The older style haircut absolutely works. My problem is these figures suck. The sculpt is there. Like, the sculpt is there. You see they've got the back piece to the costume, the hoses that are on there, the detail, but they're called Mega Merge because they're designed to come apart and slap other parts on from other figures. The thing is they cheated. They kind of cheated. They used the same male arms and female arms. So the only difference is the torso and the hips. The Pip-Boy doesn't come off. Those are the male hands. So they're gigantic. So those are going to have to go at some point. It looks like they are female legs. They're, more curved like a woman's legs are, but her legs don't split to the side. No, they come off. So, and I didn't realize that I actually had other figures from this line. Like, I just kind of forgot. So I did a little investigating today. Remembered I do have the Nuka-Cola T160. Or is this the T51? I think this might be the T51. And that was a gift from a giveaway from a friend of mine on Instagram. I'm super, super happy having this figure. This one has it's the same amount of articulation. Again, all the pieces pop apart. It's just I'm not thrilled with it, right? And then I also have Nick Valentine, who I got him because he's Nick freaking Valentine, but I will be making my own 118 Nick Valentine. Hat comes off, which was a cool feature. But it's just, they're not great figures. I mean, even if I was a small child, if every time I played with this came apart, I would not be happy. Easy to lose parts, easy to lose pieces. This hat, like I've had to keep the hat specifically near the head in storage. But they're not great figures, right? But as far as the Soul Survivor goes, the sculpt is there again. Like there's all the details, the paneling and everything. It's gonna need some dry brushes, some washes. Maybe we'll sand off that Made in China off of her thigh, change the vault number. We're gonna do some work on this today, but for this, I was like, okay, here's the power armor. That's great. Let me put the person that's in the line. Now, does that look like the height of the power armor from the show? Like, I feel like that height in the show was way more realistic. So I've been mulling over something. I'm going to go ahead and make my own power armor. Going to go ahead and make my own power armor out of one of these. That's what's up. That feels more realistic. That feels like a suit somebody can climb into and pilot it like a machine versus this just seems like a very heavy suit of armor. So further down the line, I will be making this into into somebody who, you know, comes from the vaults. And like the head swap, all I've got to do is, you know, make that peg a little bit higher, and that helmet sits at the correct size. Those shoulder pads will come off. There's different shoulder pads. I got a whole plan. But yeah. Well, you know, Morphonauts can drop those big metal goons, but I mean, those are probably going to be like, what, 30 or 40 a piece after taxes and shipping, which is fine. But I like the idea of customizing one of these. I actually got the idea from my buddy Crafty Rick, who did this with a 6-inch one of the McFarlane 7-inchers. If you guys want to check Crafty Rick out, Rick does 6-inch scale custom Fallout figures, and he also does the miniatures. And he actually was just sponsored. Big shout out to Rick. Huge for him. Just got sponsored by Fallout, by Bethesda for their tabletop game for Fallout. And he's been making some amazing stuff. So be sure to check that out. I was super impressed, super happy for him. So cheers, Rick. I thought about doing the Lightyear for power armor, but probably won't. I'm probably going to use those for some other things, just because it's so recognizable as a spacesuit versus, you know, like these are a gigantic suit of armor. They'll need some work. They'll need some stuff sanded, a couple of changes, but I think I can make something cool there. And then I'll be making a ghoul. I'm absolutely going to be borrowing Pirates of the Galaxy's idea for the ghoul and using Red Skull to make his likeness. So that is going to be coming up too. But let's get started. I did a little picking and a little pulling, not of myself, but of the of parts that I wanted to use on this, because we're going to accessorize this. Obviously, like we can't just, like, I could dry brush this, make it look great in 20 minutes. If that's what you guys want, I'll do that. But I mean, we can take it a couple of steps extra, right? So, and bring you down here to the workbench. Hello, Rosie. So, any good vault dweller, they're going to need their pack, right? The first patron, Bjorn, had sent over this bedroll So I think we can make that look a little more like the bedroll from the series, just cause we can, right? So I got those, and then I was like, well, we're gonna need a bandana. That's part of the Fallout aesthetic and lore. Now I could do one of two things, or I could do both. As I could, have this as just a kerchief around the neck that she wears, or we can turn it into a headband. But I also want to do a red headband give that 1950s retro look. And then as far as like a belt goes, we can do some pouches, from Marauders in the game, because they're just U.S. Army web, pouches. So we can go ahead and use those. And for alternate or additional stuff, I have a pair of goggles. They're like welder goggles that I can turn into something. And then I have this armor, which we can paint up to look like the heavy soldier armor from Fallout 4. So we got some options here. But let's take a look at this figure. Let's take it apart again, just so you guys can see what this articulation is like. So you've got the head comes off, then you've got your forearms come off on both sides, shoulders, torso, limbs, feet. And I mean, if I was going to spray paint this would be fantastic, right? This would be like easy as pie. We could, just clip these on sticks, spray paint it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the body together. We're going to dry brush some of the blues, a couple of different shades, and then we'll do a couple of washes just to bring out the details. Because again, like, it's there. There's texture and there's all that stuff. It's missing. Like, there's, the communication pack and the rad reader and all that stuff. Like, it's there, but it's not painted. Why wouldn't we? So we're gonna do that. So let's put aside the accessories for the moment. And again, also, this is gonna be a pain right in my butt. But the Pip-Boy, it's just green. None of the buttons are painted or anything like that. None of the wires, straps, none of the brown leather cloth that's there, the screen. So that's got to get done, right? So let's slap her back together, and we'll get going from there. So we got that. Slap a thigh on there. Slap another thigh on there, because apparently people are born with two. And we got a left foot and a right foot. And we'll do some arms next. But yeah, these were all meant to come apart and swap pieces. Like, there was, I think each one came with a blaster and maybe a piece of power armor. I don't remember. It's been ages since I got this. But yeah, let's go ahead. We'll keep this off of here. Keep these off of here for now. And we'll keep the head off. But I'm thinking, let's just get rid of that. Says BSW, which I'm assuming is the toy company that makes this. But like, they're not for, if you're an articulation hound like I am, they're not great, right? They do have points of articulation, but it's just not anything that you'd want, If I were doing the line, these guys would all be articulated. I'm not going to say they'd be super articulated, because I know that there's limits, but have more articulation than this. It'd have ball joint knees, double hinged elbows. It'd have work with this. Sir, I'm working with a knife. Stop trying to jump up here, little buddy. And I know she's going to have the backpack on, so I'm not worried about the number of the vault. But in the future, I'd actually like to change that to maybe something more Star Wars stylized, just to give it that little extra bit of flair for being in gimmick. But let's take a sanding stick and do a little bit of work here. See, I've got some more people that have popped into the chat. And Red is saying combat armor. Bjorn says those bedrolls are super easy to make. You could share your secrets, Bjorn. We won't tell anybody. It'll be just us. What's up, Liam? Welcome to the chat. Glad you can make it in. We're doing a Fallout here. Just get that off of there. All right. Yep. And Audi saying hello to everybody. Look at you. You're so kind, Audi. Appreciate you. Hey, girl. Yeah. These figures can, point their arms up and twist their hands and make questionable gestures, but we don't want them to do that, right? We want them to be a little bit different. So let's boogie. We got some blues, a couple of blues over here. All right. We've got a Viking blue from Army Painters. In case you guys are wondering what blue, and then we have just regular light turquoise from Vallejo. I think these two will be good to dry brush with. We'll dry brush, we'll let it dry, obviously, and then after we'll weather it once the paint is dry. And just we'll do that here. I just want to show you guys the difference. There we go. And I'll share this screen with you guys. Here we go. But you see, I hate this. I'm not logging into my Pinterest. God damn you. Nope, same interest. All right, so you see this right here, how there's a silver buckle over here. This is a gray silver gunmetal. I am sharing the screen, right? I'm not sharing the screen. There we go. So again, there's this button over here. There's knock it off, buddy. There's a hose that runs from back here. I think these things kind of work like a still suit, if I'm being honest. There's highlights on the ribbing of the costume around here. It's there. But on this figure, it's just two tones of plastic. Here's another great picture. Yeah, you can see how much detail is in these, and it's sculpted on these figures. I will give them all the credit they deserve. It's sculpted on the figure, but it doesn't, just doesn't fit with what the figure's doing. So we're going to go ahead and try to make this a little bit better and go from there. Still wasn't displaying? Did I just babble and nobody told me? I just work here. Seeing the brick wall move like a wave is trippy. Wait until you see this. Oh. So, get out one of our trusty Bounty, the quicker picker upper, recycled, of course. Bring this down here. And I guess we'll start with the Viking blue. Shake that up. We're just going to start dry brushing over this, all the blue on this figure. I'm not going to be too super precious about the gold. I can always go back over the gold. There's way less of the gold to worry about than there is the suit, but I already like what this blue is doing because it's just close enough to the color of the vault suit that when it hits the high points, it makes them stand out, but it's not garish. And we'll go on the back of the figure. We'll hit all those wrinkles because, again, all sorts of details here. I don't know if you guys can tell yet the difference between this and this, but I can see it with the eyes. Danger pack. What? I have no idea what's going on right now. Just keep dry brushing. Again, I'm trying not to be super precious because it's a vault suit, but I also, I can go over the numbers and stuff again if I need to. But if you guys know me, sometimes I'm a little lazy, so sometimes I cheat on stuff. And I'm liking this because it's already giving it another layer of depth. And I hope it's picking up on camera. Okay. That's it. And I guess that's a great way to show the difference. See the blue next to the blue. Oh, okay. Y'all had me confused. I thought I said something funny, and I was like, "Oh, what did I say? I don't remember the words that came out of my own mouth." Just a little bit more blue paint because we can. Get that off there. I've got a nice brown leather that we'll do the boots and the wrist cuffs with a little bit later. Oh, big snowflake stretch. Okay. Cool. All right, so that's out of there. We'll get that blue off of there. Now we're going to take some of this turquoise, this light turquoise here. Man, it's crazy. I went from like talking and there was 12 of you here. Now it's down to 5 because I'm not flapping my gums to the camera, I guess. It's the face that makes you guys want to stay. Which is fair. I get it. I'm very handsome. I understand. I just wish that I was more than eye candy to some of you. That's all I'll say. And we got some more of the standout color. All right. Chicken fried steak that you had earlier is paying you back now. Yeah, chicken fried steak is good, but it gives you at least it gives me a little bit of the heartburn. Just enough to where I'm like, God damn you, chicken fried steak. All right. So let's let that body dry a little bit. All right. Let's think about, we've got this pack here. It's brown leather pack. And I say leather. It's not actually leather. Clearly. Back and forth because got Patagon and Vero. Bedtime shortly. Just set him outside. Tell him he can come in when he's ready for bed. You know, he'll hear one or two wolves out there and he'll be wanting to come in, or they want to come in. And then you got a kid ready for bed and that's happy to be there. So we've got this here. I think I'm going to dry brush this with a black. It was a way to make a cheap cut of beef taste good. Or we could do a wash with ink. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a wash with some ink. So we'll set the dry brush aside. We'll take one of my we'll take one of my admittedly jankier brushes here. We'll wet that with some dirty paint water. Just put it on there, on the brush. Let it soak into that paint water a little bit. And then we'll bathe it on here. Get that ink all in the recesses. Anywhere that you think that grime would pool up, right? Just give it a second. Actually, get in there a little bit more. You can't tell, but I'm blowing on it. And yeah, Vallejo dries quick. Especially when you're dry brushing it, there's so little paint that you're using. And then we'll just go ahead and wipe down the high spots. Now we've got a slightly dirtier, slightly more noticeable leather. And once we weather the whole thing with powders, it'll show. Yeah, it's got to be sawmill gravy, though. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so. Queso. All right, let's slap this. Slap the boots on here. Well, yeah. It'll make painting the leather a little bit easier. And I hope you guys can see the difference that dry brushing made. Vallejo. What did I say? Vallejo? 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 All right. Speed paints. We'll do. We're going to do Speed Paint Brownish Decay, which is like it's a thin colored paint. I'm just going to put a little bit on the brush. We're going to take this, just go over the leather, get in all the creases, because they gave these boots all the detail in the world. And it's so thin that the color gradient is going to sit in those recesses on these boots. Again, there's so much detail there. But it's not going to take away versus that. So I have no idea. I can't see the screen and paint at the same time, unfortunately. I like how this paint just immediately finds all those recesses, all the good spots for, you know, this paint to go. I see why it's called speed paint. I get, if I was a miniature painter, why these would be such a great thing. So we'll just stand that up here, and then let me look back on the conversation that I'm being told I'm wrong in. Because again, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Let's see. Pronounced Vallejo. It's pronounced Vallejo. Vallejo. Yeah, you can swear here. You're allowed to swear here. Everybody look. Look, Toy Domination swore. He said a bad word. Tom swore. And, you know, we'll put a little more of that on the brush, and we'll just do the cuff for the vault suit, because that's also leather. Later I will switch the hands to our actual articulated hands that are more dainty and more feminine, because they're just so goddamn gigantic on this lady. Hard to mix. Well, no, people mix it all the time. You just use use it in the way of a wet palette, like you would, you know, do it on a piece of, I think it's parchment paper or wax paper that's wet, and people yeah, people mix this stuff up all the time. They do it on a wet palette, or they make up little batches, a couple of drops here and there, and they use a toothpick to swirl it. What's great is this thing's telling me nobody's watching right now, yet I see you guys in chat, so I don't understand what's going on. Who knows? I just work here. If you are here, sound off in the chat, maybe smack the like button. And I'll put up the week schedule for content for our little creative network of creators. Said creative twice, don't judge me. So, the Pip-Boy. This thing is going to be a damn nightmare for me to paint while you guys are watching, so let's do that. How's it going, Matthew? Thanks for joining the channel. One-on-one famine. How you doing? Bane's here. Yeah, so bizarre. Ooh, spooky, scary skeleton time. So I've got my little alligator clamp figure thing. I use paint sticks and clamps from Helping Hands. Just makes life a little bit easier. Let's block out the colors on this first. Excuse me. Gotta break out my Army Painter's War Game character brush, because it's my tiny little detail brush that I like to use. I'm kind of winging off memory because it's the 76 Pip-Boy on this person's arm, even though it's supposed to be the sole survivor. Haven't figured that much out yet. I'm always watching you, ghosters. So we're gonna do, yeah. Nope, that's the wrong green. That's cool green though. We'll do olive gray for part of the buckles and the straps. I'm just going to get a little tiny drop. I just got the smallest bit on there. And then like this, this down a little bit. Again, I'm doing my best to make this so you guys can see. But I do have to look at it. Well, don't just look at it, Sabrina. Eat it. Name the movie, kids. Okay. Awesome. So I just did that, and I think I'm going to outline the top of the Pip-Boy with this, just the screen area, because I'm going to do like a neon green inside of that screen to try and make it pop a little bit. And we'll do, like I said, just hit that area there. So we're starting to just pick up some high spots. Like I said, is there a way to increase this font size? Don't know. All right, I do see a little cable there. So we'll do that little cable in black, that little hose. It's easy. And again, I don't know if there's anybody actually watching, because again, this thing is showing me 0 people watching. So if you are watching, thank you for sticking around. I'm sorry if whatever's happening to you guys on the YouTube end of things is causing issues. A little bit of black. Markers and paint pens. I thought about using paint markers, but I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes to certain things. Apparently this is one of them. Like, I am in no way a master painter. don't think my painting's ever going to win any competitions, but I will say I tend to get the job done, and I'm happy with what I make, and I think that's the important thing. I know we all want to be, good, if not great. Like there's plenty of us I know that just that's the goal, right? And I get it. But for me, it's going to be, at the end of the day, it's like, am I happy with the work that I did? All right. So we got those. I'm just going to use this black to highlight a couple of spots. Come back and hit those with metal in a little bit. Kind of looks, but let's do. Need this brush. Okay. Do a couple of red dots. Oh, I got too excited and I shook it too much, and now it's a little bit of pre-cum of paint coming out of the thing. Did Famine really just say that? Yes, Famine did. This show ain't for kids. There you go, Red Rocket, you guys got it. That means two things in this context. Yellow, 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 yellow. Dropping that sand yellow there. Always makes a difference. Okay. Oh, we're getting somewhere. I don't know. Some buttons, some red warning lights. Let's do that green screen right now. I feel like that will make me. Well, let me do this clasp real quick with yellow too. I know marginally the lore from 76, and most of what I know is that the lore that no subscriptions. See, people are leaving. No subscribers. I only know minimally the lore from 76, so I'm just kind of winging it as far as what this Pip-Boy looks like. What it's about. Cool. All right, and I wanted to do that screen, like I said. So we'll do we'll do 2 color gradient here. We'll do moldy clothes for the base of the screen, and then we'll use this. Rick, how's it going, man? Thank you so much. I gave you a shout out earlier in the program, gave everybody your link. Bjorn dropped it in the chat. And I'm just working away on this right now, painting this 76 Pip-Boy that I know nothing about. So we're having a good time here, but I'm glad you can make it in, my friend. You guys should go follow Crafty Rick. Like I said, Rick is doing some awesome stuff with the miniatures, and also he does some 6-inch Fallout figures, all custom stuff. It's really amazing to see. And I figured I would do some 118. Let me hit this 118 market here. Capitalize on the show. And there we go. Maybe I'll get a little freaky with it later, and I'll take some UV resin and coat the screen so it's got that bubble screen look to it. Let's let that sit for a little bit. I thought about trying object source lighting on this, like OSL, like blend colors out, make it look like it's illuminating other things, but I'm just not, it's not something I'm confident in, and it's not something I certainly want to try first thing on a stream. I have cosplayer's Audacity. That is something I have, but when there's just certain things like that, like the Audacity, goes out the window. My Audacity only has so much. Not a problem, Rick. I'm glad that you made it in, and as always, like I said, guys, go support Rick, go follow Rick, and check out his channel. And he's got a corgi named Corgmeat, and that's the best thing in the world. I like corgis. I like Fallout. It's just, it seems like a no-brainer. Sorry, Dom. I didn't mean to. I did mean to take your thing a little bit. I did. But all right. That's neon. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use. I was gonna use a toothpick, but I'll try this. Why not? I got the Audacity. I was just talking about the Audacity. Here we go. I'm not going to paint anything fancy like the Vault Boy or anything like that. I'm just making it look like there's some text on the screen. Obviously, where else would the text be, Finn? There we go. Hooah. So we got that going. I mean, not bad. Especially for, someone who's not the best small painter, miniature painter. I try. All right, let's hit this with some silver. Because I apparently can't survive unless I weather things with silver. You playing, buddy? Stark's having the time of his life on the floor. Okay. I don't know. Maybe YouTube's going. Maybe the Russians started the war, and then we're gonna launch nukes, and then it's gonna be like Fallout, and I don't have a vault to go. Oh God, I'm kidding. Probably just internet issues. All right, so we're gonna put silver here around this clamp because that looks like somewhere where there would be a metal clasp. Awesome. Stop, sir. And we'll hit some corners. Make it look like this thing's lived in the world a little bit, been around the wasteland. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'm happy with that. That's a little pit boy. You haven't seen any of the episodes yet? All right, well, I'll keep the spoilers to a damn minimum, but buddy, you are missing out on a truly remarkable show. Really enjoyable. Yep. Put that on there. I mean, that's already a huge damn improvement. And we didn't need to do anything to that because that was just a leather. Yeah, I've got some hands, female hands. I'll drill them out and pop them in, but I'm not going to do that right now. Put the U in YouTube. All right, so we saw on the vault suit. There's almost a wrought iron or wrought nickel thing over there. That's way too much paint. I don't need that much. Just grab this. And that's this guy right over here. So I'll use that nickel as a base coat. And then I'll also go to the center. That right there. Clean that off my brush the lazy way. Well, hopefully things in your home life get a little bit easier for you, my friend. Hey, nothing wrong with that. It's a new thing to learn. New and fun. And yeah, I get that. All right. And anybody who's new here or watching the replay, if you like what we're doing here, please feel free to check out us on Patreon. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/FamineStudios262. See what we're up to over there. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and paint this guy right here. Nice. So we got the details going on there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this little guy in the back here. The relays for the vault suit, which were on the show. which I thought was cool. On the show's vault suit, I should say. Yep. Hey man, it's never too late to go into the Fallout realm. Here, you guys have been good. Stark, sit like a T-Rex. Sit pretty. Oh, what a good boy, Mr. Cowman. Sit. Good boy. Mama Rosie, sit. Wait. Oh, good girl, Rosie. All right, let's see here. Now I want to do the hose on the suit, and I'm trying to remember. What color the hose is on the costume. It's just a black rubber hose. All right, cool. We can do that. All right, guys. Can absolutely do that. All right. It can be played on the tabletop. Which is what Rick does. Rick does the tabletop games. If you're familiar with Fallout 4 at all and Diamond City, he built the big green monster. Like, he literally built the entire freaking baseball stadium in that scale. And it opens and closes. Like, if you want to be blown away, go check that out. So we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Anybody else get sweaty and nervous when you're painting tiny details like me? No, just me? That's fair. Anybody else's little dog keep jumping up and hitting him in the leg while he's painting set details? Just me? Thank you, Stark. Okay. Did get me. Holy cow. We're looking like we got a whole ass vault dweller here, guys. Let's see here. So I know the bandana. I wonder. I don't know how ladies style their hair, sir. But let's do. Give her some nice. Boy. Knock it off. You've got to argue with me. Picking up her eyebrows just a little bit. Okay. Wow, that actually made her look more like Carrie Fisher. That's funny. All right, and then we'll do red for the lipstick, because again, 1950s style. Hey, man, promote yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. That's what's going on right now. BioShock thing. BioShock's a great game. All right, let's do... we'll do a deep red. Mainly because I don't know how colors work. And I figure if I start with the deep red, I can always go over it with the lighter red. Yeah, don't ever be afraid to share with the class what you got going on, all right? Don't ever be afraid to share with the class. Boy. Only slightly nerve-wracking. All right, that's what's up. Oh, I didn't completely maul the figure. Just touch up this little bit here. Okay. So we can either leave it like that, or we put let's do whatever that hairband is. We'll do that in this. We'll do this red and then go over it with the other red, so it's got some depth to it. Okay. Knock it off, boys. Yeah, I was heartbroken about Carrie passing away. Absolutely. Okay. That's cool. Spent a lot of time building Fallout 4 and 76. Yeah, it's really cool to have that opportunity to world build in games. I mean, I know that's why a lot of people appreciate. Yeah, Kevin Conroy, that was another one. Oh, that one was like knowing that he was a volunteer after 9/11 down in the city. and like kept his identity to himself and didn't talk about anything. And just knowing what a generous and giving man he was, and how, just, yeah, let's not get into it. Let's not make it sad today, guys. But hey, I mean, fever breaking is a good thing. Unless you were like, damn, let me hang on to this fever a little bit longer. Okay, so we're starting to get there. And I think we'll turn her gold earrings into little pearl earrings with some white. Yeah, I'm thinking little white pearl earrings instead of gold pearl earrings is the way to go. Nope. Get a toothpick. I mean, being the YouTube sensation that I am, I know how she feels. It's tough being everybody's crush, but, someone's got to do it, right? Might as well be old famine. Cool. She's got pearl earrings. And then we'll dirty up this this bandana, and we're going to call this figure good. And this is a Marauders bandana. Okay. Let's do... Yeah, we'll do Slaughter Red with speed paint. Just take a little of that on the brush here. Soak that up. Just wash it into the crevices. Boom. Make my life a little easier. Get that in all the creases. Don't worry about getting it on all my fingers, making it look like blood. Okay. Once that dries, we'll pop it on. Yeah, there's so many great figures that people are going to be able to make when those finally hit. And I hope it's soon for the sake of all the people that ordered them. I get, how frustrating that can be waiting. All right, let's put that there. What are you doing, buddy? Dogs are so funny. I'm trying to get better at putting my paints away when I'm done with them, because I used to not. I used to be the worst. Like, I'd just leave paints everywhere. And I'm getting better at it. I'll say that. I'm not the best at it, but I am getting better at it. Surprise shipping containers. These ones in the back. Pop Miss Fisher's head off for a second. Put that bandana on. And there we have it. We've got a Fallout Vault Dweller that looks, I'd say, worlds better. I'd say it's worlds better than the one that we had to start with. So, hope you guys dug that. Nice, that's a good score. How much was it at Goodwill? Curiosity. Curiosity has me on that one. I think I'll have to tighten up the backpack straps a little bit. That's okay. That's an easy fix, but yeah, man. Boom. $3.99 for the goddamn. For one of those. Dobby must go iron his hands now. Hell yeah. That's dope. Actually, this figure works out well since it's a female form and has breasts. Curves around the straps actually curve around and kind of hold in place, so I think I can make that work. But yeah, way better. Way better. Yeah. All right, kids. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this stream. I hope you guys had fun. We talked a little bit about Fallout. We talked about customs. I'm going to continue customizing on this bad girl. I also have an AK-47 knockoff in this scale, so I can do the Chinese AK for her firearm. Be fun. Thought that was a neat idea. And yeah. So if you guys liked what I'm doing here, you want to subscribe to the channel, please feel free to click the subscribe button if you already are. Make sure you hit the like button before you take off. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you all so much for staying through that weird YouTube outage. I hope you guys have a great time. Lord of Thane, thanks so much for catching me live one last time. Do I need to sing from Hamilton? You know, one last time. Chinese assault rifle. Yeah. That's the one. But I am glad you guys were all here, no matter if you're catching it live or you catch the replay. If you caught the replay, staying through, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I will see you Friday on World Makers Consortium, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here and over on Rad Toys channel. I hope you guys are well. Enjoy your night. Mama Rosie, come here. Come here, Piglet. Or do you want to come up, Star? You want to come up? Come on, Star. Come here, buddy. Oh, you want to be on the TV. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Bye, everyone. It's time for dinners. It's time for dinners. Look at the tail go. It's time for dinners. You're so handsome. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Be well. And as always, you didn't think I was leaving without it. Too sweet me.